Are you proud of your nationality? I was born in Brazil, for example. Am I proud to be a Brazilian? Do I feel myself as a Brazilian? I lived 25 years of my life in Brazil, but I also lived a year in Hungary and a year in Germany, where I'm currently still residing. And I consider these two international experiences really important for my understanding of what being a Brazilian might actually mean. This sounds a bit contradictory, right? But bear with me. So once you're born, randomly at a place, you automatically agree with a set of rules governing the territory. We can call these rules the laws of the country, but they may have different names in different contexts. It is like when you fill out a form on the internet and at the bottom it says, when you press next, you are agreeing to our terms of service. So when we're born, we are automatically agreeing to a set of terms of service that we never read. Just like we never read the ones online either. But at least online we have an option. If you come from a country that has a representative democracy like mine, you might feel that you have a power to influence those laws when you vote for the people who write them. But this influence feels so subtle that it makes it hard to believe that you have any voice in these terms. Most times I feel like these people are just legislating for themselves, for their families, and for whoever pays them more. And I don't even know what it is like to be born outside the democracy, where this illusion of influence doesn't even exist. Or how is it like to be born in a country that legislates against your own existence, as of countries where it is still illegal to be LGBT? People born in these countries have never chosen to agree to these terms of service, and often nationalism is used to give legitimacy to these rules. We can even say that blind nationalism serves the purpose of making people agree to a set of terms they never accepted in the first place. I can even also expand this idea of the terms beyond the laws of the country to the cultural aspects of behavior from the people. You grow up living your culture and consuming your traditions and behaving like your peers. And again, you never chose them. You never had options. You were just born there. Of course you might grow attached to your traditions, culture and language, but still, you never chose them. This is where my point lies. Does it make sense to be unconditionally proud of everything that is associated with your country? Do you even know what is out there? Throughout the world we have different patterns of behavior, different patterns of beauty, patterns of politeness, different patterns in general. People just tend to act differently in different places. And they also expect different behaviors from others depending on the culture in which they were brought up. I'll give you a simple example to illustrate. A friend of mine who comes from Palestine simply raises his voice a lot when he speaks. If we are having a debate in a group of people, he always speaks louder than everyone else. And at first, I just thought he was rude and impolite. And I'm Brazilian, we also speak really loud. But then I learned that this is just how people that come from his region communicate. In his context, this is not impolite. And the same goes for many other aspects of behavior. How you deal with your friends, how the etiquette in your work and school is, how people use the internet and social media, how people respect rules and schedules. You can see everything in this big world. And I feel that it's really important to get in touch with the different, to actually understand what it means to be you. And then you can even question why you are like you, and if you want to be like you. It's like starting to better understand your terms of service as you read other people's terms, or actually experience them. There might be people who can have this self-reflection without the need to get in touch with the different, and that's fine. But I just feel that this immersion in the other might give you just the perspective you need to analyze your own behaviors and your country's terms. And in the end, it might help you in building your personality and individuality, and in questioning what you always thought was natural, or even laws that are unfair. You can accept your nationality and what comes with it in a level that suits you. It can be less like a blind nationalism and more like a conscious one. And it doesn't have to be the same one for all other people in your country. They might have different levels of belonging to a culture, even because people are not the same, and the whole country is not the same. So, if my experiences could say something about nationalism, it would be leave your country. If you cannot do it physically, do it electronically at least. The internet is here for it. But don't just stay on the obvious. Go further to cultures that don't already influence yours. However, if you can, really, leave your country. It could be for a year, 3 months, whatever. Just leave it. Experiment a different set of rules, a different set of terms of service. You'll be constantly surprised by how different people are around the globe. Use this outside perspective to see your culture from a distance, like looking at it from above in an airplane. Question your laws. You didn't write them or agreed to them anyway. Do they respect everyone's rights and identity? Understand where you come from in your particularities. While you're at it, feel empathy for who thinks and lives differently than yourself. And finally, learn to go over these differences and live with them. Respect the others, embrace them, and unite. Don't create any more borders.